Hey guys, it's Brandon with Catalpa Apiary. Hey, we're going to do a quick hive check on the hive here in the backyard, see how it's doing. As you know from the last video, when we did our last check, we found hive beetles. And I did some things to try to remedy those. We'll see how that's working out. Actually put some Swiffer sheets in. I've heard that that's one of the best ways to get rid of the hive beetles, so we'll see how that's going. And just do a general check on the hive. Come along. All right, I'm all suited up, got my new jacket on. This one actually is breathable, so hopefully that helps with checking the hives during this hot summer temperatures. Just like last time, I'm gonna go ahead and take my Apple Watch off because I do really believe that that helps keep the bees from getting irritated around my hands. So I'm gonna give that a try again, and I'm gonna go back in with just my regular gloves and hopefully not get stung this time. We'll see how it goes. I've only gotten stung a few times, but mainly it's been around my Apple Watch. So I'm really curious to see if not wearing that Apple Watch really helps. Again, it did the last time, so we're gonna keep giving that a try. I can already tell that this new jacket though is much more breathable, so I'm looking forward to that. Gosh, that other jacket, as soon as I put it on, it was, I was completely soaked in sweat. All right, here. Get this one on. There we go. Make sure to get my gloves tucked down in there. All right, got our jacket on. This one actually has a different kind of hood too, so I'm kind of excited about it. It's got a hood that fits over like a hat. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. All right, all suited up, got our gloves on, got our jacket on. We'll grab our hive tool here. So we're gonna be using our hive tool. We've got our smoker as well. And let's go check on this hive. All right guys, we're here at the hive now. We're gonna crack open the top of it. The bees are pretty calm right now. I think they're out mainly foraging. The way that this hive is positioned, I think I've told you this before, but the way that this hive is positioned, it's really hard not to stand in front of it. But like we've told you in the past videos, it's best to stay out of the front of the hive to really work from the back. Unfortunately with this hive, the front of the hive faces the yard. Actually, I'll show you real quick. The front of the hive faces the yard, and then the back is against a fence. I'm probably gonna try to reposition this hive at some point, but for right now, that's the way it is. You can see the bees coming and going right now. Get you a little further over where you can at least see the side of the hive. All right. I do have my smoker here, so we're gonna smoke them a little bit. not a ton. Move that out of the way. Crack open the inner cover here, or the top. See the bees there. I'm looking for any hive beetles. Not seeing any on that top, which is good. Pop off the inner cover, and this is actually where I have my the Swiffer sheets positioned. So you can see we got those, and from everything that I read, the way that those Swiffer sheets work to get rid of your hive beetles is that the beetles actually their legs get caught in those Swiffer sheets, and they can't get their legs out. And so they're kind of caught in those Swiffer sheets. So, and again, so far so good. I see no evidence of hive beetles. So we'll get checking for the rest of, we'll continue to check. The other thing that I did is I got some beetle traps. Now these beetle traps, I'm going to take this one out real quick so I can show you what it looks like. And this is exactly what I wanted to see with the beetle traps. So the beetle traps have this center section here is full of apple cider vinegar, and then each of the side sections have just an oil in them. I use vegetable oil. And so what happens is the vinegar actually attracts the hive beetle and encourages them to come. And then in the top, which is kind of hard to see, but at the top here, there's grooves on each side. There's not a groove where the apple cider vinegar is, just where the oil is. And so the hive beetles actually crawl down in that groove, they can't get back out, and they fall down into the oil. So as you can see, we've trapped quite a few using those, using that trap. And I have 4 of those traps in the hive. So as you can see, this one has some hive beetles in it as well. So I had 2 of the traps at the top, and then I've got 2 of them in the lower deep box that I have. All right, so I'm gonna smoke them just a little bit, not a lot. They're being really calm right now, but I'm just gonna smoke them where they're not on the edges here, so I can hopefully keep from squishing any of the bees in the process. All right, so let's see what's going on with this upper box first. Certainly got it glued together good. So the bees use something called propolis to glue the frames together. I'll show you real quick what that looks like. So if you look at this frame here, it's a good looking frame. I'll do a little bit of show and tell here what I'm looking at. So this over here on the side, this kind of orangish stuff here, that's propolis. And propolis is, again, what the bees use to kind of glue everything together within their hive, to kind of make everything stick in place so that it doesn't move around. And this is actually a third, let's see, the frame is the third from the outside. And this is the inside of it. And as you can see, let me actually hold it a little differently. As you can see here, the bees have quite a bit of honey up here at the top. So all of this is honey that's capped. Down here at the bottom, they have got nectar. So hopefully you can kind of see that shining in there. There's some nectar in this general area and all across. And they do have a little bit of capped brood over here on the side. But that's a good looking frame. The outside here, you can see that they're starting to build it out as well. And again, this is the third frame from the side. I'm going to set this frame out. And we'll go to the next frame closest to the side. See what that one looks like. On this one, of course, they haven't done as much work here, but you can really see that propolis right here. And as you can see, they're starting to build out their comb on this one. And the same thing on the back here. Or actually, that's the inside, and this one would be closer to the wall. All right, this next frame is the one that would be, or that is right next to the wall. So we would expect probably the least amount of comb build out on this frame. And that's what we see. We see lots of bees on it. And they're starting to build out some comb, but definitely the least amount of comb. All right, you want to take a look down in the hive with me? It's a view of the inside of the hive. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of bees down in there working away. All right. So we're going to continue on looking through this, first this top box. This hive only has two deeps on it. So a deep box, for those that may not know, is not normally a box that is used for honey extraction. So this box is really just for the bees to, for the queen to lay her brood on it, and for the bees to collect their honey. So as you can see, again, we're in the top box, the top deep, and as you can see, this one is full of honey. This frame, all of that is capped honey. On the other side here, there's some capped honey at the top, and then lower down on these lower frames, we have some eggs actually. So that means that the queen has actually been in this upper box laying some eggs, which is just fine. I think I'm going to pull out one more frame from this top here, just to show you how much honey this hive is produced. Again, there's another full frame of honey. These bees have been working hard. All right. I'll set this one to the side as well. And I think now what we're going to do is we're going to take this top box, this top deep off, and see how things are looking down below. What I would expect, I've got a couple of additional beetle traps down below, and so I would expect to see some more beetles in those traps as well. All right, super heavy. All right, there we go. Let me show you what I'm looking at from here. Look at all those honeybees. Just working away. There's a little bit of comb that they built right there at the top. I'm gonna smoke them a little bit, and as you can see, that smoke, it just drives them down into their hive, confuses them a little bit. But mainly you just use it to try to get them off of where you're working, and so that you're not harming them as you're working in the hive. All right. So here again, let's look at this next beetle trap that we have in here. The beetle traps actually just hang onto the side of one of the frames. So I'm going to take this frame out. Let's use this to take it out with. So here's a frame here. There's that beetle trap, and as you can see, there is quite a few beetles down in there. It's exactly what we want to see. This is the outside frame of the lower deep. As you can see, there's actually building out the comb on the outer edge. Good stuff. All right. Move a little further in here. See how things are doing. Things are looking good there. See some eggs down in these cells. That looks good. At this point, what I'm looking for is brood patterns. As you can see, there's quite a bit of brood there, capped brood. I see some larvae in multiple stages. Quite a bit of pollen on this one as well. So that one looks good. Smoke them a little bit more. If you can hear, we've actually got some thunder coming, so I'm probably going to have to wrap up pretty quickly here. Look at one more frame here. Yes, good brood on that one, on both sides. Yeah, this hive looks good. So I feel like we do have the hive beetles under control somewhat, at least. We're going to continue to monitor it just to make sure, but so far things are looking good when it comes to the hive beetles and getting them in check. And get this frame back in. There we go. All right, looks good. I'm gonna smoke them real quick so we can get this top box back on. Because again, we do have a thunderstorm coming. Wasn't expecting that. But that's kind of how it is in the summer in Tennessee. And we're grateful for those pop-up thunderstorms that come in the afternoons. All right, so let's put these frames back in. Good. This one back in. Go ahead and put a beetle trap back on this side before I forget it. There we go. Continue to load these frames in. This is the outer frame. Knock some bees off there. Sorry about that, little bees. The second to the outside frame. All right. And then this frame here. Smoke them a little bit and try to get them out of the way so that I don't squish them. All right, there we go. Now let me get my hive tool and make some room over here to put this beetle trap back in so that it can continue to do its thing and help us keep these hive beetles under control. All right, so we've got the frame in place, the top box back on. There's our inner cover. And our top. All right. Put our weight back on. And we'll call this hive inspection a success. All right, guys, so we're finished with that inspection. It's a quick one, but overall, very pleased with what I saw. You know, the last time that we did an inspection, we found those hive beetles, which, if I'm honest, was a bit of a bummer for me. I was really worried about what that meant, how I was going to combat those, and you know, just generally what to do about them. I had very little experience with them. I have no experience with them, actually. This is my first year having beehives. So, but again, with a little bit of research, just looking online to see about what other people have done, I was able to figure out that the Swiffer sheets helped, but I really think what's helped the most, at least so far, is those traps. There was probably 100, probably more than 100 hive beetles in those traps. So I'm very pleased with how those traps are working. I think my next goal with this hive is actually to try to reposition it into a better place. It's really hard to check on this hive the way that it is up against that fence. And so I would really like to figure out a way to position it in the backyard here in a way that I can get behind it and actually work from behind. As you can see, I'm going to step out of the way. The hive is actually, well, you can't hardly see it. It's behind the squash there. Here, I'll show you. So if you look, the hive is actually back here. It's actually positioned over a dry creek bed, which is a really good position for me as far as having it kind of out of the way. But it's hard to actually get in there and work. And so I think my goal is to try to reposition it somewhere else, away from that fence, so that I can work on it from behind. While we're out here, and it hasn't started storming just yet, we'll take a look at the chickens. So we had several chickens, and we recently downgraded to only having 4. So this is 3 of the 4. 2 of those are hens. So the one that's kind of a gold brown color is a hen, and then the one that's kind of a light tan is a hen, and then this is our rooster here. We didn't expect to keep a rooster, but he's so pretty, and he's so docile that we're gonna hang on to him, at least for now. And then our other hen, I'm not sure where she's at right now. She is actually black and white. Let's see if she is inside. I don't see her inside, but I do see that they've laid 1 egg. So we'll grab it real quick. Nice egg there. Oh, there they all are. So there's the 3 hens and the rooster. And then we do have our little garden back here. Looks like I need to pick some tomatoes. I was hoping they were going to be a different variety than they were, but they turned out to be smaller tomatoes, but they've actually been really good for just making tomato juice. So I've canned, I think about 4 quarts of tomato juice so far. And then we've got our squash here, which is continuing to put on some babies. And it looks like there's one here that's gonna need picking. Actually, probably already needs to be picked. So we'll grab it off real quick. Look at that. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up from the backyard today. Next time, hopefully you'll see me down on the farm. We've got our 2 hives down there that we need to check on, make sure that we don't have any hive beetles down there or anything else going on. There's some exciting things that we hope will be happening on the farm too later this fall and next spring. So we'll start talking about those and kind of give you some hints as to what's going on, and we just hope that you'll follow along and continue to watch the videos. Hey, please subscribe. Go out there to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It really helps our channel out. All right, hope you have a great day. Got my 1 egg, got my squash, and we did our hive check. We're good to go. Have a good day.